Hello, welcome to Laura's Paint and Minis. I am Laura, and we're working some more on these wererats. Getting some paint shook up. I did not have the paint prepared, so you can watch me mix. But yeah, we're gonna work on the tails, which I'll do shoot for kind of like a grayish pink of sorts. So the gray is West Barrow Slate. And then we're just gonna try out I kind of grabbed two other colors that I think will work to create the effect that I'm going for. That is Rosy Shadowed that I just put in. And then we're going to take that Brains Pink that I used last week. What did I use it on? Oh yeah, on the red to highlight the red because I didn't care if it went a little pink. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix up also some colors for like there's wraps on there. There we go. So they've got you can see there's wraps on their arm and then a little belt with some leather pouches. We'll probably just do those all the same color. I'm gonna keep two, but the other three out of the 5, I will sell on eBay. And this is Griffin Golden Brown. So it's got a couple of specialty paints. So they have the 2 on front and their specialty. And yeah, that's probably going to be enough. The wraps and the belt and pouches itself are not very big, so there's not much space to do to really do much highlighting and stuff. So three layers basically should be plenty. And we'll see how these turn out, these mixes. Put a little bit of it into the gray. There. I think that will work pretty well. Trying to see if maybe if I put something more red there. Now you can kind of see the pink a bit better. How is everyone doing? get these base coated first, and then I'll move up in the layers. Especially since this is pretty close to the actual material color. I want to make sure that I've got good coverage. I got a lot of painting done. Finished those 3 red caps. Gotta get those pictures taken of that as well as a finished video. Yeah, someone was asking on Discord about how I highlighted red, and so that's why I then got a better picture of a finished red cap, or well, a red cap with the red finished on it, and then one that was only base coated, so that you kind of see, because there's that picture I did beforehand where I had a pic of that same red cap that had the red finish, but it wasn't like a great pic. I did it real quickly instead of in the light box. So that is why, in case you're wondering why there was a second photo of the same mini with one that was only base coated. But yeah, I feel like that worked out really well. Get a nice highlight on top, and you get that kind of gray shadow underneath. And you saw me do some markings towards the end, because usually they have those lines. I don't know what they're technically called, if there is a name for that or a term. I have a friend I probably could ask, because she helps take care of, well, she helps takes care of mice. That's for like, that are used for research purposes, because there's a lot of specific care that does have to be taken of those to make sure that research is accurate. I don't know if she still does that. had a little bit of like sort of sad news. Not as sad as a week and a half ago, but yeah. So a week and a half ago, there was a friend, a couple in our church that were out for a stroll, and a car jumped the curb. And unfortunately, one of them passed away. So that was something that I've been dealing with, is just kind of grieving there. It was a little too fresh last week. There's no way I was going to be able to even talk about it without basically bawling. Because I knew them somewhat. Still kind of tearing up just thinking about it. So, but the bad news last night is that one of my friends is gonna back out of our trip. We're having a ladies' trip planned for this weekend to go see Wicked. But it's likely that that funeral will probably be this weekend. So that was kind of sad. That kind of found I they texted, and thus I found out at night, and it was pretty much right before bed that I actually saw the text. So it was kind of hard because initially I thought we were just talking about maybe changing when we were gonna leave, and that everyone was still going to go. So yeah. There was kind of just that initial like, oh, is this trip even going to happen? I've heard from one other person that they do still plan to go. So that's good, nice. With everyone grieves a little differently though, so I mean, I don't like blame the friend for backing out of the trip. Okay. That is all of the tails. And I forgot to actually mix up the leather colors. use that. I kind of wonder if this maybe has, well, I don't know. I'm wondering if this is maybe a bit more orange than what I am realizing, because this definitely, when you add that creamy ivory, definitely is going orange. That, or maybe there's some red pigment or something. That's, because I mean, creamy ivory is pretty, I feel like it's pretty yellow. Probably has some yellow in it. Those are those colors, in case you were wondering what they look like. Can always come back with just straight creamy ivory if it's looking a bit orangey compared to, yeah, it is, especially right next to the blue. There's definitely some orange tint in there, or orange pigment probably. I will just probably make sure to bring in the creamy ivory kind of strong. So we bring back more of that yellow. I think it's already dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this one with the wraps instead of base coating. Should also do the teeth actually. Although I definitely need to bring in more of just a plain creamy ivory though. Like that. And the eye too, I guess I could do. I get the creamy ivory, and then I need like dark, just one of my darker colors instead. Here. Charcoal brown will work. And then it'll just be the weapons that are left. And 4 other mice, or rats. Okay. Eyes are not particularly big. Same with the teeth. It's basically just putting little dots. That was definitely too much. Ah, okay, I'm gonna stop that side. Kind of gives it that almost like creepy smirk sort of thing. I'm just gonna fill in here. I didn't get it painted. Probably should have been the red. But we'll just do the dark brown and then It'll be fine. Cool. Yep, we just have these two swords. So I might as well just go ahead and base coat them. Especially since the sword over here I kept mistaking for the cloak. So a lot of them are painted brown. Keep forgetting that to clean my brushes. They definitely are in need of some cleaning. It's way over there. might leave them, just do the white dot and the rest of them, so going back with the brown again, like I did on that first one. Kind of like this better. Oh, and if you haven't seen, the Reaper 90-day contest is now open for voting. So you can go and vote for as many paint jobs that you want to. If you happen to like all of the paint jobs, you can vote for all of them, or if there's only one or two, then just vote for one or two. I did participate this time, so one of them is mine, if that gives you a reason to go vote. If for some reason you need a reason to go look at cool paint jobs of minis. If you're not familiar what they do for their 90-day contest, it's the same mini. Everyone paints the same mini. Well, technically this round has two separate minis in it because they came as a pair, female bard and a dog. Definitely a lot more complicated mini or minis. The dog's not that complicated. The bard definitely is a lot more complicated than the last round contest round. So that probably played a factor as to why there weren't quite as many entries. Or maybe it's just because it's summer, and in the summer people have more things to do. So they're not inside painting quite as much. I'm glad everyone kept the dog in, as they were, they were technically, they did come, they were packaged together, but they were separate and had their own integral bases sculpted. So yeah, it definitely made it that what there could have been the possibility that someone would just not include the dog. husband was sort of kind of making fun of me for wearing slippers and a shawl when outside. We have like the last 3 days we've had a heat index of like 100, over 100 degrees. But when I'm in here in my office, one, I have a set of drawers sitting right on top of the vent, so it basically is redirecting the air to go straight out on the floor. So if I don't wear slippers, my feet are just freezing. And then this room is just one of the smallest rooms, so the thermostat is in the biggest room, which is the open space kitchen and living room. Whenever the air conditioning kicks in, it is always more than what this room needs. So in the winter, that's when I'm actually getting too hot in here, because then it's getting more heat than what it needs. But I can't complain too much, because that just means our HVAC system is working like it should. should be able to get the stuff on this one painted up. Then it's just the NMM left. It's supposed to cool down a little bit because we are going to get some more storms. Okay. We've got our wererats all ready for animum. The animums. Paint up the tails on these guys, and then got the wraps in their little leather pouches. They're pretty small, so there's, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, there's not a whole lot that you can do. Same with the teeth and the eyes. So yeah, we got those, I think, pretty well done. And we'll do some NMM next week. I finished up the red caps, and then for my paint time this morning, I worked on another spectral ghost, which doesn't take a whole lot of time since I'm keeping them leaving some of the transparency. So this will probably be what we work on Thursday. We'll get started on this hag from the Bone 6. There were 2 other ones that came with it. There was a whole coven and a cauldron. But yeah, I settled on this one for a one-shot that I'm going to do. It's technically based on like Phantom of the Opera, but a little bit of a Feywild twist on it, because that's what the red caps are for too. So yeah, bring one of the wererats out, because that's more pretty to look at, since the other thing is, since the hag's not painted yet. But I will see y'all Thursday at the same time, 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then I will put my socials in chat. You're already following me there. There's all the links there that I'm at. Technically on Threads too. So yep, that's where you can find me. You can, with YouTube, I do paint along videos. Patreon, you can get early access to those like a week ahead of time before they go up on YouTube. And of course, also all the Twitch VODs get uploaded to my YouTube. That way you can see them for longer than just a week, I think is what I have, what my VODs last for currently. So yeah, have a good couple of days, and I will see you Thursday. Bye.